Hi there. My name's Meg. I am new to posting, so grace and space, please. I just finished 7 years working on Capitol Hill. Been working in politics for about 10 years, and I am just taking the next 2 months to reevaluate and think about really intentionally what I want to do next, knowing I still want to work in this world and do good things and good work for people, but just looking for a new experience. So I'm going to try my hand at this social media stuff because I love social media personally. I am all over it all the time, and I feel like I've just seen some really great spaces that people have created for important conversations and questions. And I think something we really lack in politics today is being able to speak like normal people when we're trying to explain how decisions are made, how our government works, and just what the heck goes on in American government. I just got a new beauty blender set. Jury's out on if I still like them, but I was desperate, and it's what they had at Sephora, so what we're using. But like I was saying, I think that social media, while it has its pitfalls, can also be a really great place for people to ask questions and engage in dialogue just like normal everyday humans, and that it could be a really great place for explaining how things work. Having done it for a while now, it's really easy for people to be like, oh, the government is too big and I don't know how it works, it's so shady, yada yada. And that just could not be farther from the truth. So I'm thinking I want to use my fun employment time to come to spaces where people are that maybe don't know as much about, don't care as much about kind of the functions of our government, and hopefully answer some questions, maybe create more questions, who knows, and just kind of talk about things that we're seeing out there. Obviously there's a lot of conversations and dialogue going on because we're transitioning into a new administration, the second Donald Trump administration. We're just transitioned actually into a new Congress where Republicans now have control of both the House and the Senate. And, you know, some people might think that that means they can do whatever they want, but there are so many stopgaps because our founders actually had really great foresight about, you know, that cheesy kind of checks and balances that we always talk about. But that's actually really true. And so I just think it's important to have real conversations talking about not everything's going to be as horrible as people say it's going to be. Now, if it wasn't super clear, my experience is in Democratic politics. I am a Democrat. I have only ever worked for Democrats, but I will do my best to be unbiased as much as I can, because in the same way that not everything's as crazy as it looks in the news, I've actually done a lot of work across the aisle or with Republicans. And what I always say to people who ask me what it was like working on the Hill is that what you're seeing in the news is just not always what it's like. There's definitely moments, but I think there's a lot more behind the scenes work that goes in bipartisanly, I don't know if that's a word, a lot more bipartisan work happens than I think anyone gets credit for in the news on both sides. And so I just think it's important to have those conversations about when our government is working and all the stuff that gets done behind the scenes that maybe isn't sexy enough to like be on the major news. So I think one of my goals of this channel, did I just age myself? Is that a millennial thing? Page. One of my goals of this page, I hope that's the right word, is to be an experienced voice, but a normal voice in talking about just like how the government functions. So I'm hoping to get some feedback and some questions from people on what questions they have, what topics they want to talk about, what confusion there is out there, like anything really.